What if the thing you've been keeping off the camera, the frustration you wrote off as not content worthy, the struggle that felt too messy, too personal, too impressive to film, is actually the most powerful and renewable resource your channel will ever have? Because here's what nobodies talk about after that first upload. The real wall doesn't hit on a day one. It's somewhere around month 3, when you're staring at a blank page, wondering what you're supposed to say next. And the answer is never about finding more topics. The answer has been living inside you the whole time. Let me ask you something. When was the last time something frustrated you? Genuinely frustrated you? And your first instinct was to bury it instead of filming it. For most creators, that happens all the time. Something breaks down, a plan falls apart, a tool stops working at the worst possible moment. A conversation leaves you rattled, and the instinct is always the same. Handle it quietly, get through it, and maybe mention it later once it's cleaned up and the rough edges are gone. But here's the problem with that approach. By the time you've smoothed everything over, you've also smoothed out the part that would have actually connected with someone. So here's the first question. How many of you had good days that have made it in your content compared to your hard ones? For most people, the ratio is completely lopsided, and that's exactly why so many creators hit a wall and run out of things to say. Good days are polished, infrequent, and honestly a little boring to watch. Hard days are constant, raw, and more relatable than you realize. Right now, someone in your audience is frustrated by something. Someone is stuck. Someone is quietly assuming that they're the only one going through what they're going through. The moment you start treating your friction as material instead of something to push through privately, you'll never run out of content again. This is the core shift. Minding your frustrations doesn't mean oversharing or overperforming your pain for views. It means recognizing that your private struggle and someone else's private struggle are often very much the exact same thing. They're just living through it alone, convinced no one else would understand. The moment you document yours honestly, you build a strong bridge between something that felt unbearably personal and something that turns out to be completely universal. Hi everyone, I'm Dan at Being Lifted Media. Remember to like, subscribe, and comment, and share this video. What's something you've been struggling with recently that you assumed was just you? And have you ever actually stopped to consider that it's almost certainly not? This is where the real content engine lives. Not in a content calendar, not on a list of video ideas you brainstormed 6 weeks ago, and now stare at blankly. It lives in your daily existence. The small failures, the recurring annoyances, the things that make you mutter under your breath before you even realize you're doing it. Those moments are happening to you constantly, whether or not you're making the videos. The only difference between a creator who never runs dry and one who stays perpetually blocked is whether they're capturing those moments or letting them disappear. Think about what that actually means. Creative block isn't a shortage of material, it's a shortage of noticing. You're not short on frustrations, you're short on the habit of treating frustration as a signal worth recording rather than a feeling worth getting past as fast as possible. So here's the next question. What if instead of asking, what should I make a video about, you start asking, what's bothering me right now and why? That second question never runs dry. It can't. As long as you're alive and paying attention to the world around you, something will be bothering you. A task that's harder than it should be, a system that doesn't work the way it's supposed to, a goal you're not hitting and don't fully understand why. Every single one of those is a thread worth pulling, and pulling on it is exactly where the story lives. But here's what takes this from personal venting to high-impact storytelling. It's not the struggle itself that resonates, it's the documenting the struggle in real time, or close to it. There's a massive difference between I used to deal with this, but I'm fine now, and I'm currently dealing with this, and here's exactly what it feels like right now. The first is a summary. The second is an experience your audience gets to live through you, alongside you, with you. And lived experience creates a kind of connection that polished retrospectives almost never achieve. Ask yourself honestly, when you watch another creator, are you more drawn to the ones who tell you they overcome something, or the ones who actually show you what overcoming it looked like in the moment before they knew how it was going to end? That's the engine, not I have a problem, therefore content, but I have a problem. I'm going to document the friction of actually living through it, the false starts, the wrong turns, the parts that don't make sense yet, and the documentation becomes the video. The struggle isn't the obstacle to making content. The struggle captured honestly is the content. And here's why this approach becomes sustainable in a way that idea generation never is. Your problems don't run out. New ones replace old ones constantly. The moment you resolve one frustration, there's another one to take its place. Because that's what life's like. We learn, we overcome an obstacle, a new obstacle appears, we learn to overcome that and continue to grow and move forward. The only limiting factor is whether you're willing to point the camera at it. What's one frustration you're dealing with right now, this week, today, that you've been keeping completely off camera? That frustration is a video, not a polished, resolved, lesson learned video, a real-time, in progress, here's where I am right now video. And the version of you that's willing to film that, uncertain, mid-struggle, not yet knowing how it ends, is the version your audience will trust the most. Because it's the version that looks exactly like them. Are you waiting for life to settle down before you have something worth filming? Or are you willing to film it precisely because it hasn't settled down yet? Because the moment you stop separating your life from your content, you stop running out of either. Your daily friction isn't a distraction from your channel, it is your channel. Next time something goes wrong, pick up the camera, not after you figured it out, but while you're still in the middle of it. Drop it in the comments below. What's one frustration from this week that you've never once thought to film? Because that frustration might be exactly what someone else needs to hear today. They'll be like, man, I'm going through that also. And seeing how you're working through it is such a huge value. So helpful to me. Thank you. Thanks everyone. Have an awesome day. See you in the next one.